Hey guys, Jeremy here from School of Wok, Covent Garden. It's Wok Wednesdays once again, but this week we're not using a wok. We're doing a Vietnamese Banh Mi, but the dish totally woks. So I'm going to start with a quick pickle to garnish my Banh Mi. It's a carrot and daikon pickle. You don't need excessive amounts. Get everything nice and finely sliced into matchsticks. Daikon or mooli is a great vegetable. Although if you do sit it in pickling juice for too long, it does have a slightly pungent smell. It's quite nice eating it fresh. If you like pickles like me, it doesn't last long anyway. Carrot for colour and crunch. Again, fine matchsticks to go with the daikon. Now we just have to make our quick pickle. It's really quite simple. Vinegar over the top. Obviously, if you didn't have rice vinegar, you can use any sort of vinegar for this. Some salt and some sugar. So the sugar's there to sort of balance out that sour flavour. Saltiness. You can use soy sauce if you wish as well. And then you just want to pop the star anise into that. And then just top it up with some water. Give that a good mix through. Allow that star anise flavour to steep into the liquid. That's done. Out of the way. And I can pick up all that flavour from the vinegar. So onto the actual beef patty. So Banh Mi is essentially like a Vietnamese baguette with a lemongrass beef filling. And the nice thing is really sort of it's packed full of flavour from this paste. Lemongrass, in the UK we get lemongrass that's sort of grown slightly sort of longer period of time before it can sort of travel. So you're probably looking at about 6 to 8 weeks of growth here, which means that the sort of outer leaves of lemongrass could be a little bit tougher than maybe say something that you get in Vietnam or in Thailand. So a lot of people peel that off, but if you've got a cleaver, you don't really have to. You can make use of the whole thing. So you can really sort of give it a good bash. And that is really quite therapeutic. So, and then give it a nice fine chop. You can see by bashing the lemongrass that you can use the whole thing and you won't sort of notice that sort of tougher outer edge. Now, even when you're using a pestle and mortar, lemongrass can be a little bit tough. So the finer you chop your lemongrass before it goes into the pestle and mortar, the easier it will be to make your paste. Some garlic. Again, just to help the pestle and mortar out. Give it a little bash, a rough chop. Then we're going to start to season this mix up. So your beef patty or your lemongrass beef patty is almost like a Vietnamese burger. So we've got a load of spring onion here. We're just going to use all of that because I want to get a huge amount of flavour into the beef itself. I'm going to start pounding this before I add any of the other bits of flavour into it. So I've got, just to reiterate, lemongrass, some garlic, loads of spring onion. If you do want to bring out more moisture from the paste quicker, you can just use a little pinch of salt and that'll help to bring out that water. So now that spring onion's in this sort of half paste state, I'm going to start to add the rest of the seasoning into this. About a teaspoon of shrimp paste. And then we've got some palm sugar. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of palm sugar. Love this stuff. It's really got a nice treacly taste to it. Some light soy sauce. Go for 1 tablespoon of light soy. And that's to add saltiness to it, but of course we've got fish sauce in this as well, being Vietnamese. We go a little heavier on the fish sauce, so 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. And then we're going to start to push all that flavour into my spring onion lemongrass paste. And this is essentially creating the marinade for my beef. So you can see now, I've got, it's almost like a thick soup rather than a paste of spring onion and lemongrass mix, nicely seasoned, ready for my beef. So, that's the hard bit done really. The beef goes in next. Get all that flavour into there. And then you want to get your hands into it. So always have one hand clean, one hand dirty. Really start mixing that flavour into the beef. A relatively wet mix because of all that, the soy sauce and fish sauce and the liquid that comes, or the moisture that comes out of the spring onion. You want to bind it together. So this technique that I'm about to show you is actually more of a Chinese dim sum technique than a Vietnamese Banh Mi technique, but I find it works for a lot of things, including making burgers at home. You want to sort of bind the meat together and tenderize it at the same time. So what you want to do is cup your hand, not open like this, but it's got to be closed fingers. And then you can pick up your meat in one go. It's always good to have an unbreakable bowl, so try not to use ceramic or anything like that. But then I'm just going to really sort of throw this meat back into the mix and hope that it doesn't bounce too much back at my face. So here goes. All right, and you want to hear that banging sound. And this creates a nice, smooth sort of patty. You can see every time I'm doing it that it's more combined when I'm picking it back up. So it's definitely doing something. For me, what it does is it knocks out all the sort of air between the bits of mince. And that's when you get a nice sort of almost sausage-like texture. 10 to 15 times. So you can see now, ooh, I've got meat on my glasses. 1 second. Okay, so classically, banh mi is a street snack, a Vietnamese street snack, and it would be served on skewers because it's then easy for them to grill on the streets. You don't have to put on skewers, but if you are going to use skewers, then soaked in water is great, and also that water helps you to then shape the banh mi itself. So you can see that I'm just going to take sort of a ball of meat, but I've wet my hands to be able to make the shape nicely. And then we just feed that onto your skewer, and then just make a nice sort of almost kofta shaped meat patty. This is going into a baguette, so you do want enough to have a good bite of that lemongrass flavour. Rough and ready. I've got my griddle pan here. You can pan fry this, grill this. If you've got a barbecue, then around this time of year, oh yeah, why not? Just brush it a little bit with oil before you put it on the grill. And then, nice high heat. You're gonna hear that sizzle. And that one's for the hungry cameraman. And always count on Lee to finish our food. You can really smell that fish sauce and lemongrass coming off the grill. You just want to turn those once you had a nice charred finish. Smells amazing. My stomach is grumbling. The nice thing about the really massaging and beating the mince is that it stays together nicely. And if you do want that sort of more medium to medium rare finish, it just has this great texture on the outside and that softness on the inside. Bit of sriracha if you wish. Just grab it, pull the skewer out. Fresh leaves of coriander just peeking out the top. See where the money is. That is delicious. Crispiness of the baguette. That real sort of sweet savoury flavour from the lemongrass, spring onion, shrimp paste, beef patty, topped off with the sour from your pickle. Oh, I could eat that all day. Love it. Hope you love it too. So now you know, School of Wok doesn't just do Chinese food. Vietnamese, Thai, Malaysian, whatever you want to learn about Oriental cuisine. If you like what you see, subscribe to our channel and like our videos.